You're in the rant wormhole where I rant about whatever my $15 a month plus patrons want me to rant about. You can get one of these by being one of those. This one's for Tickle Soup, who says, I'd love a rant about Gintama. Hoo boy, Gintama. It's been a long time since I have properly watched Gintama. I watched the first 165 or so episodes of the original show. I've seen a couple episodes of some of the later seasons. It's just fucking hilarious, man. It's one of the funniest shows out there when it's really at its highs. But what the magic of it is not just that it's so funny and has such an amazing cast of lovable characters with incredible chemistry, who are very unique, a very creative setting where anything can happen. It's the fact that everything does happen. That's what makes Gintama great. It's not just that anything could, but that everything does. It will adapt to any style it wants to become, you know? Like, on a baseline, it's just a parody of shonen manga. And it, will often copy the formula of that and sometimes just deliver, like, an actual, like, action-centric, story-driven arc for maybe 5 or 6 episodes that is as good as any arc you've seen in another shonen anime, and it will do that while constantly undercutting it with comedy and parody elements, but still delivering that amazing arc with all the hype moments you'd expect. Amazing soundtrack. Gintoki is one of the most relatable characters for me. He's voiced by one of my favorite actors, Tomokazu Sugita. All the acting in the show is phenomenal. Kuki Rie as fucking Kaguya, just so many of my favorite actors are in the show. I can't possibly name them all, but there's assloads of memorable characters, memorable scenes, stuff that's like nothing else, stuff that comes out of nowhere. You're in the middle of an action arc, and all of a sudden there's an entire episode about 4 characters getting trapped in the shitter and not having any toilet paper, and then playing like a Death Note mind game with each other to try to see, who can get, whether or not they can trick one another into using sandpaper to wipe their ass with. There's one episode where bathroom smegma turns into literally Nazca of the Valley of the Wind. Like, the entire world gets overrun with fucking with fungus, but it's literally ball cheese. Like, God, it's fucking legendary. It has some of my favorite comedic episodes, and then also when it just gets really weird and really oddly specific with stuff like the detective episode or the Gintaman, which later becomes Dondake. There is tons of stuff in Gintama that just doesn't exist elsewhere, and that you might even forget is there. But when you see it, you're just like, where am I right now? Legendary show. Not every episode is incredible. They're definitely not all created equal, but it's worth making it through all the weaker ones to get to the ones that are absolutely legendary. One of these days, I'll watch the rest of it, but, I always say that if Gintama actually ends, I'll catch up on it, and so every time that it's announced that it's ending, people notify me, and I'm like, guys, you don't understand. If it ends, I will catch up on it, but you are never going to convince me that that is happening until it has happened, because the idea that Gintama is ending has been, like, a meme in the series since the beginning. Like, the fact that it was constantly getting complained about by the PTA and shit, and, like, being threatened to get shut down, that it kept leaving TV and coming back, and, like, keeps saying that they're in the final arc, but, like, I think that's the joke, so, I'll believe it when I see it. But Gintama, the reason it's able to do all this is just that it has kind of the perfect premise, that it's set in, like, the samurai era, so it can do historical drama, and yet the idea is that Earth got invaded by every kind of alien in the universe, and therefore basically anything could happen in this world. So it's like, any kind of story it could want to tell, it has the means to do that within the universe, and then to subvert it in the middle of doing it. And that's what makes it so fucking great, man. Countless great arcs. Everybody should watch Gintama. I know it's long. You don't have to watch all of it. Just, watch the hard thing about getting people into Gintama is that it doesn't really put its best foot forward. Like, I think it takes a while to really get great, and even then, it's not that it just like hits a moment where it's consistently amazing. It's more like if you see enough of the best episodes. So, like, I think the best way to be introduced to Gintama is to have someone show you one of the better episodes, which is how I got introduced to it. But that's difficult to do. Maybe I'll put together an episode guide when I do finally watch it, or an introductory guide for people or something. But yeah, I'm a big fan. I fucking love it.